Okay, guys, we have the 2023 NFL cornerback tier rankings. This should be a really fun video. Again, cornerbacks one of the positions that is a little bit underappreciated and maybe even is a little bit devalued, again, like at this point. Because, I mean, they're cornerbacks. But yeah, this will be really fun to get into. Definitely a controversial position to say the least. Let's get right into it, though. Third tier ranking video of the day. Let's go. Welcome back to the Fun NFL. Of course, please like and subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoyed the 2023 NFL starting cornerback tier rankings. Of course, we have we'll go through all of them. But yeah, of course, this is the third video today. If you've gone through the offensive line in the IDL video, I mean, that's really good. Like, yeah, thanks for watching those. But either way, yeah, we're on cornerbacks now. Of course, but either way, again, number one, I will be telling you who I think number one corner in the league is. S tier, basically top five, the best of the best. A tier, really good, solid corners that they might not be. Again, they're not like the best of the best, but they're very, very good, like high-end number ones. B tier, good corners. Again, I'll tell you this too. Slots will be graded differently because if you're a S tier slot corner, I mean, people would know who you are. I don't think there is a S tier slot corner. Maybe not right now, but there could be. A tier, again, like I said, very good players. B tier, good corners. They're definitely good starters. I want them on my team. C tier corners, I mean, they're okay to start, but they definitely can get toasted. D tier, backups maybe, guys you might on the field once in a while because they can at least cover, but they're definitely threats to get beaten. And F tier, why the heck are they in the field? And then rookies and not gradable, I'll put them there too because there are some guys that are hard to grade, and as well rookies that don't really fit in for this well. Let's just get right into it though. Okay, I think we're starting off with, is this Cam Sutton? Of course, they signed the former Steeler. They signed him. I'll give Cam Sutton a B tier. He's a good man corner. He's really good with leverage. Not as great with outside leverage, though, let's put it like that. He's not great at funneling receivers to the middle, and he's not great, what is called, he doesn't have great range, like knocking balls away a ton, but again, his ball skills are decent, but the range of knocking balls away definitely could be better. He's a good corner, of course. Zone could definitely be better, but yeah, he's a good corner. Who's number 21 on the Titans? Is this Roger McCreary? Yeah, Roger McCreary is a solid safety. I mean, slot corner. I'll give him B tier. He got targeted a ton last year, and it's simply because he's not the best tackler. But overall, I think he played pretty well. Like, there's a reason he got targeted so much. Like, he was going up against some of the best slots in the league. Like, he was their best corner honestly, best player in their secondary outside of Kevin Byard by far. He was really, relied on a lot. Again, his tackling improved throughout the whole season. His coverage also improved. Pretty good zone. His man coverage, though, for a slot is really good. I think number 26 is, I get really screwed up. So that has to be Christian Fulton. Christian Fulton, I'll put in C tier. Here's why. Christian Fulton last year when he was on the field was not the same player. Christian Fulton last season when he was on the field just wasn't exactly the same player. He only started 11 games, but when I watched him play, yeah, he was able to make a lot of tackles and stops, but he was not the same man corner I'm used to seeing. A guy who could play a lot of off and really get up there and make tackles. This year, he could probably do the same type of thing, but when he had to play press, I was really worried that he wouldn't get burned, because he did get burned a lot. He just wasn't the same answer I thought he would be, but I think he's a decent corner. He just had a little bit of a down year last year. Sean Murphy-Bunting, there is a case to put him in A tier. The only reason I'm not is because he's a little bit soft when he plays. Like, he's not going to, try to blow anyone up or anything. I don't think he brings the energy he needs to. But as, a cover guy, he's fine. Damari Mathis I have to put in D tier because as a rookie last season, he just didn't show me a lot. I think he'd be a better safety for sure. He can tackle well, but he's just he gets beaten a lot on the first move, which is a little bit of an issue. And his hip fluidity is definitely a problem right now. Marcus Peters, I'll put him in C tier. Again, I get he's old now. But even last year when he was on the field, again, injuries are an issue with him. But I can't put him in D tier. I can't do it. Last season in 13 games, he just wasn't that great. Again, tore his ACL in 2020. Didn't look this after 2020, but I don't know. He wasn't awful last year though. Yeah, I get he wasn't the same player, but I just can't give him the D tier just yet. I could very well give him an A, but he's very on the fringe of giving that. Probably a C-. Desmond King goes into A tier. The reason he used to be the best slot in the league. I don't know if he's that good anymore, but Desmond King's a really good slot corner. I mean, he can return as well, but he's a really hard guy to beat over the middle with throws. You really need to beat him to the outside because that's where he does sometimes have trouble. But for a guy who plays so well and at funneling guys in the middle of the field, especially in man coverage where he's kind of on an island, and again, you can beat him on corner routes, but that's kind of about it. He's a really hard guy to beat over the top as well. those seam throws. He's a very frustrating corner to go up against. I think this might be Nate Hobbs. No, this is Duke Shelley. Duke Shelley, I think, is actually a good corner. This guy can play. Again, he's not one of those corners who doesn't get too many snaps, which I think is a good thing. He's probably better in zone than in man, but Duke Shelley's just wherever they put him, he always succeeds. Yeah, Duke Shelley's a really underrated corner. Kendall Fuller, probably going to go in A tier still, another really, really good slot. Again, if he was an outside corner, which he's not, he just doesn't play well there. He did play a little bit of that last year, just wasn't that great. He's not the best man corner, but his zone coverage and his just overall leadership on the field and ability to read the quarterback is some of the best in the league. Derek Forrest, a C tier. I mean, he's pretty athletic. He's decent in man, but his zone coverage is pretty terrible, and you can't beat him over the top. Emmanuel Forbes, I think he's not gradable right now. He's a rookie, too. I think he'll have trouble. But I do think just the fact that he's been able to make so many plays and he's a hard guy, again, beat over the top, I think that could be really good. Again, he is a little undisciplined, though, so I think that could come back to bite him a little, too. Trayvon Diggs is B tier. I can't give him A tier. I'm sorry. Again, last year, towards the end of the season, he was actually getting really good in coverage. But, again, for a guy who's supposed to have, really good ball skills, again, it wasn't that crazy last season. He did tone it down a little with getting burned, though, but he was still getting burned a little bit. So, again, really, kind of like a watered-down 2021 version, but he wasn't like he was broken or anything. He actually played pretty well. So, I do give Trayvon Diggs props for that, but I can't give him the A tier because he needs to be better in coverage. And if he can bump up those interceptions, that'd be big too. Stephon Gilmore, I'm still comfortable giving him A tier. Last season, yes, was he he was definitely the number one corner. He played really well for a number one on the Colts. The only issue that I have with him is he just didn't look the same overall. Past 3 seasons he's been good. I mean, past 2 seasons he was good. He was definitely better with the Panthers, but last season, again, in man, wasn't, crazy great, but he actually played a lot better in press than I expected him to. As a Cowboys corner, I don't think he'll be expected to do as much as the number one, just basically cover the number one guy when he needs to, especially on third down. That's what I think they'll see from him. Jordan Lewis, probably C tier. He's an average slot corner. I don't know what else to say. He can get burned, but he'll do his job. Darius Slay, S tier. I still don't care. He was one of the best corners last season. Top 5 guy, in my opinion, probably number 5. Darius Slay's a beast. Who is this? Avonte Maddox, I think. Is it? I think, yeah, it is Avonte Maddox. Avonte Maddox gets C tier. He's an athletic corner, but for a guy who's supposed to be able to make a lot of big plays, he just doesn't do it right now. Is this K1 Williams? K1 Williams also gets C tier. He's just older now. He used to be A tier, at his best in the slot, but he's kind of toned it down a little. He's not as aggressive as a tackler, but he's still pretty disciplined in coverage. I think he's big. So it kind of keeps him in the league, but he's definitely more of the vet on the field. Who is this? Adoree Jackson. Adoree Jackson gets beast here. Again, another really athletic corner, very fast, but doesn't always play with that type of speed. He also isn't super aggressive. His ball skills need some work, but again, just the number one corner. Again, he's not the best guy to have in the league, but he's good. This is Deonte Banks, right? Deonte Banks, I will give C tier. Again, I want to give him big tier. He's a big corner, but I just can't because of the fact that I do think he might struggle a little bit against these really fast receivers, which he actually played well against in college. But again, those receivers didn't have the best hands. He's really good at breaking balls up, but at the point of the catch this season, I think he might be a little worse. Amani Oruwariye, again, we'll get to another guy later, but he was F tier last year. I'll give him D tier though. He looked a lot better in preseason. I do expect him to get a lot of snaps this year. I just gotta say, I think he can be a lot better, but last year he was just horrible. Just never got it going after a really promising 2021. But then again, he wasn't great in coverage in 2021 by any means. That's the one thing I gotta say about him. This has to be Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson's an average corner. I mean, he showed some promises, but he still hasn't really figured it out in zone coverage, but it's just a problem right now. His leverage is decent, though, and he can make tackles. Kyler Gordon, really good ball skills, but I have to put him in D tier because he's a really hard guy. For a guy who's supposed to be good in the slot, and, slot corner, don't get him confused, with shiftiness and stuff, but they have to be good with that. His hip fluidity's just not there right now, and he's not explosive, and being able to jump on some of these routes. He's just not there yet. Again, has good ball skills, but the discipline, the overall just needs a lot of work. This is, Tyree Stevenson. I'll put him in probably rookie. He's not able to grade because he should be a very good straight-up man corner, but I don't know if they're going to be able to use him that same way because, again, he's a little bit too aggressive sometimes. Jerry Jacobs, C tier. I respect the heck out of him. He plays really hard, but he's just, again, not the most talented corner at all, but he just plays really disciplined, and he's a hard guy to beat because he doesn't make many mistakes. Eric Stokes, I want to put him in B tier, but I'll probably just the fringe. He's almost a good corner. Last season was really promising, but I don't think he made enough plays, nor did he really show a ton towards the end of the season for me to give him that B tier. He's very close though. Jair Alexander, S tier. He's literally the only corner in the league. He's again very inconsistent, but he's literally the only corner in the league that can go a whole game with just shutting down the best receivers in the league. He frustrates the heck out of guys. Rasul Douglas, probably in C tier too. It really took towards the end of last season to really realize that he's not really the best man corner like you can have, and he does get burned a little bit, especially over the top. But Rasul Douglas is not a bad corner at all. I do like him. He just definitely a step back from 2020 too. 2021. Michael Davis is probably an A tier guy. He's the most valuable corner in the entire NFL for the Chargers. They didn't have you saw what happened when they lost in that wildcard game. Michael Davis is amazing. Who is this? Byron Murphy. Again, for his role, he's the best in the league by far. Byron Murphy, I'll put him in B tier. He could be the best corner in the league. I'm not even kidding. By next year, if he can transform this Vikings defense, he's got to take a huge jump for sure. Again, solid number one corner with the Cardinals, but he never took that next step to being elite. I think he could make that jump and really transform the secondary. If he can turn it around in that Vikings secondary all by himself just because he showed up and he just takes that next step, he could be the best corner in the league. Just because there's really aren't. I don't really see another situation where another guy can do that. Speaking of that, who is this? That's Andrew Booth, right? This is Caleb Evans. Caleb Evans, I'll give C tier. I like him, but he just isn't consistent enough at this point. I do think he could be good. But right now, Caleb Evans just, again, showing a lot of flashes, and he's showing a lot of, improvement for sure. Can make a lot more tackles, has a pretty high ceiling, but, I don't know. His zone coverage is just kind of atrocious right now. Speaking of that, Andrew Booth Jr. get plays in D, he just isn't, again, he's never been a zone corner, and when he's had to play man press, he just gets beat way too often, and, I don't know, he just hasn't played the way I expect him to, especially after a bad rookie season. So I have to keep him in D for now. Just not the guy you want to see right now. Carlton Davis, A tier, one of the better number one corners in the league. He's really good. Jamel Dean, I'll put in B tier. Another guy who he's really good. But I don't think he's A tier just yet because he just doesn't have the pedigree or the matchup or the film to really show that he can absolutely stone up number one guys. He's very good though. AJ Terrell, though, I will put in A tier. He was probably the second best corner in the league in 2022. 2021, but last year definitely took a step back. I still gotta keep him in A tier though because he looked really good preseason. He looks like he's back. Jeff Okudah, C tier. Last season he was solid in his first real full season. Again, he wasn't anything crazy. You could say he struggled, but man, did he struggle with injuries. That's really what I gotta say. I still think he's very talented. Again, really rough rookie season. He really bounced back, saved his career for sure with the Lions. If he got traded to the Falcons, I think he'll be good with them if he can stay healthy. Shoot, this is who the heck is this? They signed someone. It's not. Shoot, who is this? It's their slot. Oh yeah, Trey Flowers. Trey Flowers is the definition of a guy who just is hard to get the ball to again, especially when you have shorter routes. He's a hard guy to complete passes against, but he is a guy that if a receiver catches the ball, they can get big yards off of him, and he's not the greatest in man. Especially over the middle, he's not the fastest, but he is pretty good at maintaining his leverage and stuff like that, so it's hard to really beat him, but especially when the ball, it's tight throw, he will more often not breaking up. That's really his best trait. Shoot, you got, this is C.J. Henderson. There's C.J. Horn. Dante Jackson goes in C tier. He was never that great of a corner, but the reason I had him in B tier is before is because it's really hard to get the ball over the top of him because he just has such good closing speed and just overall speed. But last season he wasn't good at all. He really struggled with tackling, and he did get beat a little bit too much. And just the fact that in man he just wasn't the same not the same dynamics, and wasn't forcing as many incompletions was really a problem. Before, of course, he tore his Achilles, and I don't know what to expect from him this year. C.J. Henderson's D tier. For a slot, I don't know what to say. He's kind of been a bust. Really hasn't improved on the Panthers. I don't know what to say. He's just not very good. Asante Samuel Jr., I think, or is this No, this is Asante Samuel Jr. P goes in B tier. Very well could be an A tier corner next year. I don't know if he can get S tier just yet, just because he needs. Last season he was really good towards the end of the season, but at the start he just was again getting beat a little bit too much. So I want to put him in A tier next year, but he's very, very close. Had a very good second season. J.C. Horn, I'm honestly gonna put him in A tier. He's probably been the best. Has he been the best defensive player in the draft? He's been one of them. He's ridiculous. J.C. Horn is so good. Marshall Lattimore also A tier. I honestly could argue put him in S tier because again he had the injuries last year, but when he played, he was one of the best corners in the league. This is Alontae Taylor. I'm gonna put him in B tier already. He was just so good, man. So good. He's so pesky, aggressive. Just a nasty guy to play against. Paulson Adebo, D tier. I don't like him. I don't know what to say. I just don't see him as that great of a corner. He just, again, in zone he's okay, especially when he gets to play over the middle and in the flats. He's actually a really good flat zone corner, but outside of that, he's just not good enough. They need for an outside guy, they need a boundary guy who can actually play off. He just can't do that right now. Just too aggressive. Is this Marco Wilson or is this So you got Marco Wilson. I think that's Is it in order? Yeah. This is that's Christian Matthew. That's Thomas. Who the heck is the guy's name? I literally forgot their corners. The Cardinals' cornerback room is terrible. It's Antonio Hamilton Jr. So Marco Wilson's probably a C-tier corner. He's not the worst number 2 you could have in the league, but he's definitely not a guy you want to see in the field too much. Antonio Hamilton Sr. is probably a D, and then Christian Matthew's an F. I don't want to see Christian Matthew in the field. In the slot last season, he was one of the worst in the league. He was just an easy guy to pick on. Like, there's nothing else to say. Like, there's a reason he got so many targets when he goes on the field. And then Antonio Hamilton Sr. is just old and is not fast anymore. Kobe Durant, kind of like Alontae Taylor, except I think he could be probably the most maybe not dynamic, but I could definitely see him leading the league in interceptions. He just makes so many big plays, and I love Kobe Durant for 2 reasons. Number 1, makes so many big plays. Number 2, you can't, he does not give up big plays. He just doesn't. Yeah, maybe we could catch it here, maybe a couple yak yards, but he will not give up a big play. The whole season, I'd be surprised if he did. Kobe Durant is a monster. This is Ahkello Witherspoon, right? Yeah. Ahkello Witherspoon I'll put in D tier. Again, he didn't look that impressive in 2019 with the 49ers when he really got a chance to start, and I just don't know what to say. That's kind of about it. He hasn't really gotten played well either outside of that. I mean, he's, again, a good veteran presence, but that's about it. Robert Rochelle, probably D tier too. I don't know what's up with him. The Rams just don't like using him. That's all I'll say. This has to be J.C. Jackson. He'll also go in. Do I put him in D tier? He was the worst player in the NFL last year, in my opinion. That's a lot to say, but I have to say it. Yeah, he goes in D tier. J.C. Jackson was just so freaking bad before he got hurt. I wanted to throw up. He was that bad. But I don't know. I'll put him in C tier because very back end. Because if he plays the same way he did this year, he's gonna get cut. He was that bad. Again, he got injured though, so you gotta keep that in mind too. But he was awful. Again, the one underlining issue with the Chargers really forgot about. Yeah, he makes a ton of big plays, and he does make big plays against really good receivers. But he does get burned. He's not a great man corner. That's what you got to realize about J.C. Jackson. That never was his game. It was more he was playing a lot of zone, reading the quarterback's eyes, and really being able to at least play the boundary well. But last season he was just terrible. I don't know what to say. Charvarius Ward's A tier corner. You could argue he's S tier. He was phenomenal last year for the 49ers. This has to be. That's Diamond Lenore. This is Isaiah Oliver. Isaiah Oliver goes in D tier too. I've never been a big believer in him. He's never really shown me much. Just doesn't do a lot. Again, doesn't get burnt too much, but then again, doesn't get a ton of targets. When he does get targets, you can't beat him over the top. Diamond Lenore, I've come to respect. He's a hard guy to beat. I'll give him C tier. He can make good tackles, but then again, he just isn't that physically gifted. So gotta keep that in mind too. Tariq Woolen, I will put in A tier. No, I'll put him in A tier. He was the most electric corner last year. Maybe not as good electric as Sauce, but he was very electric. He was, again, if Sauce didn't exist, he would have won Defense Rookie of the Year. But then again, for how fast and athletic he is, he still has issues with leverage and does miss some tackles. That's, again, the 2 things. Again, if you watch the roster grade section with the cornerbacks, that's what I talk about with him. Again, on film, he's very, very good. Again, hard guy to get over the top, but I do think he could, he has some stuff to improve on. Devon Witherspoon, a guy I can probably guard. He's the only corner I'll put straight up in B tier because I think he's the only corner in the whole draft that's really like a dog in man. He's gonna rough you up if you're running around against him. Michael Jackson, C tier. He does his role well. Tackles, that's about it. Trent McDuffie, C tier as well. He got burned AJ Brown in the Super Bowl. That's about all you can think of. But overall, he had a pretty solid rookie season with some inconsistencies. Jalen Watson's just a big play guy. Relies a lot on that. Jerry Seed, I think I put in B tier. He's just good man corner, but I do think he gets carried a little bit by the safeties, and he does get a lot of help there because he's going up against a lot of number 1 corners. Receivers. I think if they sell Charvarius Ward, he wouldn't be. I think he'd be probably playing even better. Kyrie Irving, C tier. Again, I don't like him. I didn't like him coming out of the draft, but I will say I don't think he's D tier right now. That would be a little bit too harsh, even for a guy like me who doesn't like him that much as a pro player. But I will say this: he did show something. Again, I want to drop him into D tier a lot, but I just can't do it because it wasn't fair rookie season there. Tre'Davious White, B tier. He's still a good corner, but just wasn't the same player last year. Teron Johnson, B tier as well, solid slot. Jalen Ramsey, he's S tier. He's probably the 2nd best corner in the league still right now. Again, last season definitely took a step back overall in coverage, but he's still very, very good. Cater K-Out, B tier. Again, the really reliable slot, makes a lot of tackles. Does what is called Xavier Howard went back, watched a lot of his film. He was not the same player last year. He got burned a ton. It is make or break for him this year. Michael Carter is B tier, another really underrated slot. Yeah, again, he has 2 really good what it's called, outside boundary guys, but he's the best tackler by far in the secondary, and not only that, though, he is a really relied on guy to play good zone, to help, very disciplined zone to help out these corners, because they are playing a lot more free. Speaking of that, DJ Reed is probably, honestly, not going to give him A tier, I'll give him high and B tier. If he didn't play with Sauce, I'd give him A tier, because he is absolutely the #1 corner. I just got to, again, if he has another elite year, I'll put him in A tier. Sauce, S tier, he had the best rookie season from corner I've ever seen, I'll put him in right number 3. The reason he's not as high as Jalen Ramsey is because Jalen Ramsey, again, like, if he plays like this again this year, which I fully expect him to, he will definitely surpass Jalen Ramsey. You could argue he definitely is better, but I just can't, because Jalen Ramsey has been the best quarter for the past 5 years. Jonathan Jones, B tier. He's a solid corner. He's been his whole career with Bill Belichick. He's never been the most physically talented or made the most plays. Does get beat once in a while, and man, like, that's about it for him. Christian Gonzalez, I'll put in the a rookie grade. Again, I want to put him with, what is it called? Where is he? Devon Witherspoon, but he just doesn't play the same physicality in man, nor has he, like, the same type of, like, aggression that I think he would need to, like, really succeed. So I don't know what to expect from him for sure. Again, high expectations, just don't truly know what, like, where he'll stand by the end of the year. Marcus Jones, probably C tier, because I think as a straight up corner, he's not the best, but again, he's such a good returner. I gotta respect him there. Chidobe Awuzie, A tier. He proved last year he was one of the better #1. Again, a very high #1. He's really good. Nate Hobbs, B tier. He's a solid corner, but probably definitely the best player in that. Well, not best player, but he's definitely the best man corner in that Raiders secondary. Cam Taylor, Britt, I respect him. I'll give him C tier though, because he just really hasn't shown, like, the true ability to play true man, especially in press. Mike Hillen, very solid slot, B tier. Is this Julius Brents? I think it is, right? Or is this the rookie they got? That's Julius Brents, right? This is the rookie. No, is it? It's Kenny Moore. What am I saying? That's Kenny Moore. That's Kenny Moore. Number 29. What am I saying? Number 29, Colts. That is, who is number 29? Number 29 is Juju Brents. Yeah. Juju Brents, I'm honestly going to put in D tier. I guarantee he will start at one point. I just don't like him right now. Again, he was good at Kansas State as #1 corner, but I just don't know if he can stick, because he's just not fast enough at this point. He needs to play a lot of off coverage, and his tackling, I don't know if it's there yet. He's not the quickest guy either. He's just a pretty disciplined corner that is, again, solid and man, like, understands leverage and stuff. He's a smart player, but I just don't know if he has the athleticism or the, like, I wouldn't say aggression, but the guts to really tackle some of these guys. This is Kenny Moore. He's still A tier. Again, he was probably best slot in the league last year, but 2 years ago. But I gotta still keep him in A tier. He was really good last year on a really bad, I wouldn't say really bad, but a bad Colts defense. This is the rookie guy that I have no idea what the heck his name is. He's come out of nowhere, which I do respect him for, but there's a reason he's a UDFA, and what it's called, Darrell Baker Jr. I respect the heck out of him, but I don't expect anything out of him. This has to be Tyson Campbell. Tyson Campbell goes in B tier. I expect him to be a top 5 corner this year. He's my favorite guy. I think he's the most underrated player in the league. I can't put him in A tier, though, because he hasn't played like an A tier corner yet. What is this? Who is this? Freaking, their other corner. Who the heck is it? Why do I not know his name? I don't know why this is here. These two are here because I probably had some glitch. But either way, sorry about the error. But yeah, either way, Darius Williams, my bad, I forgot about him. Again, really haven't paid attention to him since he left the Rams, but I'm feeling he's a good corner. I'll put him in D tier. Him and Tyson Campbell are both pretty good. Definitely taking a step back since he left the Rams, though. Trey Herndon, C tier. He's an okay slot. Just does his job to survive. Derek Stingley, I don't want to put him in D tier, but I'll put him in C. He's so athletic. Was the number 3 pick for a reason. Again, probably should have been picked over Sauce Gardner, but again, he's kind of played like it, so I'll be honest. He probably gets C tier. Again, did struggle as a rookie, though. Steven Nelson, also C tier. He's a, decent corner. He'll do his job. Pat Payne, I think, is the best corner in the league right now. Where did he go? Simply because he is, just, I don't know. He plays the most consistent. I don't know how to put it. It's if Jair, he's the closest to anyone to being able to do what Jair Alexander does, and also be as smart as Jalen Ramsey and as aggressive as he is. He's just, overall, just such a great corner. Again, I do think Jalen Ramsey could arguably go here, but in same thing with Sauce. But the reason I patched Tennessee here is because he's the safest guy to put here. I need a guy to stop someone man-to-man. Probably going to pick Jair over him. Just because the guy, don't give up the catch. I would pick Pat Surtain to do it. That's how I'll put it. Okay, who is this? Zion McCollum. I can't put him in F tier as he goes D tier. He's been playing so well in preseason. He's looked really smooth. I like what I'm seeing there. Emmanuel Mosley has really good length, but he's coming off torn ACL. I gotta put him in C tier. But when he played, he looked really good. And the last guy in this list is James Bradbury. I don't care about the Super Bowl. I'm putting him in A tier. He was one of the better corners in the league last year. And that'll just about do it for this 2023 NFL cornerback, starting cornerback tier rankings, of course. Leave your likes, your opinions and comments in the section below, of course. I hope you guys enjoyed, and like and subscribe as well. Again, a lot of good thoughts here. But yeah, my number one corner is Patrick Tan. My number two is probably Jalen Ramsey, then Sauce, then we'll just go Jared Alexander, and then the fifth I do have Darius Slay. If you have any issues with that, comment in the section below. I'll look at them, and yeah, maybe I'll respond. That's all I got for you guys, and hope you guys enjoyed that one. And it's tier ranking 2023 day one. Hope you guys enjoyed. Yep. See you for the safety video tomorrow.
Intercepted, picked off by Thomas. Earl Thomas with a foot race. Brown won't get him. That will be 6. No flags. Touchdown.
Earl Thomas. DeAndre Hopkins said this is the best safety in football. He is reading the eyes of the quarterback the entire way. He knows where Deshaun Watson wants to throw the football. To DeAndre Hopkins inside on the slot against Richard.